How to choose the correct bandsaw blade width and thickness for cutting wood. The blade width is measured from the back edge of the blade to the tip of the teeth. This dimension is very important because it significantly affects the cutting stability and the blade's range of use. In general, if the wheel diameters of your bandsaw are 350 mm or less, you should not use blades wider than 13 mm. A blade that is too wide would be excessively stressed by bending, which may lead to a shorter lifespan or even blade cracking. So how do you choose the correct blade width? The decisive factor is the radius you want to cut. The narrower the blade, the smaller the radius it can cut. Conversely, a wider blade is more stable in straight cutting and is suitable for straight and long cuts or for thicker workpieces. The reference table below will help you determine the minimum radius that can be cut with a given blade width. Always respect the recommendations of the bandsaw manufacturer. The manual usually states which blade widths are suitable for a specific model. A solid and robust bandsaw allows the use of wider blades that provide greater stability when cutting larger and thicker workpieces. Smaller hobby machines are designed for narrower blades which allow the cutting of tighter radii and more detailed shapes. Blade thickness is actually the thickness of the steel strip the bandsaw blade is made of. Choosing the correct thickness is essential because the blade continuously bends around the wheels during operation, which leads to material fatigue in the strip. Example: for the bandsaw Shepik Bossa 4, we use blades of length 2,895 mm. The blade speed is approximately 1,000 meters per minute. At this speed, when the blade runs around both machine wheels, it bends and straightens approximately 11.5 times per second, about 690 times per minute, approximately 41,400 times per hour. Such intensive stress clearly shows why it is necessary to follow the recommended blade thickness. Practical exception: the smallest bandsaws with blade lengths around 1,400 mm, for example hobby models from Parkside, Metabo, Shepik, or Hecht, often have a wheel diameter of around 200 mm, which would correspond to a recommended blade thickness of approximately 0.5 mm. However, many hobby users prefer blades with a thickness of 0.65 mm because they are stiffer and more stable during cutting. They track better when cutting curves, cracking is not particularly evident in typical hobby use, and the supply of blades with this thickness is wider. Yet, it is good to know that this represents a compromise between ideal blade lifespan and its practical usability. How to choose the correct blade thickness. Measure in millimeters the diameter of the wheel on which the blade runs and divide the number by 500. The resulting number represents the maximum blade thickness that will not be overstressed during operation on your machine. If the wheel diameter is less than 350 millimeters, it is recommended to use a blade thickness of no more than 0.65 millimeters. Using a thicker blade may lead to cracking during prolonged cutting due to repeated overstressing during bending.